lovelies, thanks for stopping by my channel. Today we are going to be playing with things that either I forgot about, just haven't gotten around to, or honestly have just been buried and I didn't see them. Yes, today is going to be all about the things in my collection that I bought and haven't used. And none of this is Black Friday haul stuff, because I think, probably still have some Black Friday haul things that I haven't used yet. These are things that I've had in my hot little hands for a hot minute and haven't used. So if that's something that interests you, go ahead and stick around. I will also be chatting a little bit about how I'm doing in my 2022 makeup goals so far. I know it seems kind of crazy. I did just post that video recently, and I think it's a good time to check in, mostly for me to have a reality check with myself, but also to just let you know what's been up here at my vanity and also in my wallet. Now, if we haven't met before, my name is Kelly and I'm a professional hair and makeup artist. And here on my channel, I strive to keep beauty real. Real honest, real relatable, and real fun. So if that sounds like something you'd enjoy, don't forget to click subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. But if you're here to see some of the things that I haven't seen in a while, let's get into it. All right, so I have to say that intro is maybe a lie, because I have seen these things recently. They just, especially a couple of these, have been like screaming, use me, use me. And I'm just like, I don't have time right now. So I'm excited to pull some of these out. Now, just looking at what I've compiled in front of me, this is about 2/3 drugstore or drugstore pricing and 1/3 a little pricier. So I just kind of like gathered up some things that I hadn't really used and I've been excited to try, and it just hasn't happened. Now, the only thing is I don't have much in way of base products that I haven't tried yet, because you all know I've really been trying to like cut that down. The only thing that I kind of went crazy on last year is concealers, and I've used all of them. So we will be using a foundation and concealer that I have used before, but we're going to get into that in just a moment. So this is the foundation primer that I'm going to use. This is the Laura Mercier, and if I have used this, I do not remember. I am sure that I probably got this in some sort of Sephora sampler, but I really do not remember ever trying this. I know that a lot of people talk about the Laura Mercier primers, but I don't think I've ever gotten to experience it. So we're just gonna get this massive amount of hair out of the way and go ahead and dab some of this on. Now, it is rather late in the afternoon when I'm starting this, so just to refresh my skincare, I did go through with a little hydration. I went through with this Believe Hungarian water essence. Again, another like sample I got, and it's one of those ones that I'm like, okay, sample, let's get used up. But that one, just like the oh, there's a Drunk Elephant product that's like, it's very much like this. It's like a water gel type thing, and I'm like, why? Like, this is like nothing, but it does it does work well for like mid-afternoon hydration refresh. But let's face it, so would like a, you know, hydrating spray or something. I don't know what the heck that is. I just had like something kind of like silicone-y come off. So I have to say, I like the way this looks. It is not, so when I think of radiant, I think that it's going to be super hydrating, and I don't think that this is super hydrating. It gives you that glow, but it's not really like adding any like juiciness to your skin. So if you like a good glow, but you're already like more like normal to combo, you might actually like this, because I don't feel like it like gives a lot of juiciness, but we will see. Now, the foundation. Okay, so I went through and I had to pick a foundation that I just really haven't used in a while, but also one that I think I might boot out. And that's because, let's start talking about those makeup goals. I just recently posted that video, by the way. I'll put it up here if you want to go like hop over to that and watch it first or watch it after this. But anyway, one of my makeup goals was to not buy any foundations or concealers until I get rid of or use up one or two. So this could actually kill two foundation birds with one stone. So this is the Jane Iredale Beyond Matte Liquid Foundation, and I was actually given this through an influencer campaign. I have two shades of it, this one and then one that's like quite a bit darker. I should actually pull that one out in case we need it for this, in case I'm not quite as fair as I think I am. Ah, here we are. So I have the shade M7 and M6. I feel like a little dibble dabble of both of these might be good. Now, I've done a review on this foundation on my channel, but I really don't remember how I feel about it. And I'm going to have to get rid of at least one foundation in my drawer because I bought something. Here I am. Here I am saying like, I don't need any complexion products. And then Kiki from Salt New York is like, oh yeah, hold my beer. So she just launched the Sneaky Balm. And if you know me, you know that I really enjoy the Salt New York products. So now knowing that Kiki formulated something that is, you know, a more like tinted moisturizer balm. You can use it as a bit of light concealer. I had to get one. I had to get one. So to stand by my own rules, since I didn't use one up since it was like, I don't know, 2 weeks after the beginning of the new year when I knew I was setting these goals. Now this just means that I need to get rid of one. And honestly, I think that I won't have a problem doing that with these because I haven't grabbed for them in so long. So that probably means that they weren't like wowing. I think it was nice, but it just wasn't wowing. The one thing I remember is that it was a little more coverage than I like. So I think I'm probably gonna mix this most likely with my niacinamide dewdrops. So I'm just doing like 2/3 of the light shade and then a tiny little bit of the darker shade. I don't think I'm gonna need much of that though. And then about 1/3 of this mixture is gonna be those dewdrops. So we will see how we do here. But I remember when I wore this, like I said, I felt like it was more coverage than I really want. Like I can already tell just by how that's like going on. This is gonna be quite a bit of coverage, but you know me, I like a light, I don't even want to say light to medium coverage because I would say I pretty much like a light coverage unless my skin is really having some problems, or I don't know, unless I'm wearing makeup that I feel like goes better with a little bit higher coverage, but that's very rare. I mean, I'd rather like get a little glowy coverage and then add coverage with concealer in the areas that I need it. All right, so I don't love this. Now my skin right now is not the driest that it's ever been, but it's not exactly the most hydrated either. But I do feel like this is clinging to areas that like I don't usually have a problem in. Like the sides of my nose aren't usually too bad, but then I see like here around like the sides of my mouth, it's just looking like a little dry. Like I'm glowy, like from afar, it doesn't look too bad. So I'm gonna try to not like place judgment on it yet. And also I am gonna be wearing this for the rest of the night. Let's see, it's 4 o'clock right now. So I'll have a good like 6 hours before I need to wash this off tonight. So I think we'll be fine figuring that out. But it's not like a love. Like I'm not already like, ooh, wow, I love this, which makes sense because I haven't grabbed for this foundation in a long time. So we will see. I could definitely see for sure most likely getting rid of the darkest shade of this because like I would have to be like in the depths of summer to be able to wear this one. Although maybe that would be when I would want to wear it because then my skin is like more moisturized. I don't know. Anyway, we're gonna like pause on this. All right, I did add some concealer onto my nose, my chin, and my under eye. I went through with the Maybelline Fit Me. This I have recently used. This was in my project pan for 2021, and I said I was just gonna keep going and try to use it up. I'm pretty close. I've got like 1/4 of this, maybe. I love this concealer, so I just thought that, you know, maybe having a concealer I know I love with the foundation I'm not sure about would work in my favor, so fingers crossed. And unless you are completely visually impaired, you probably noticed that I have eyebrows on now as well, and they got a little bit dark. I just pulled out whatever was in my drawer because I have several things that I'm using right now, so there's no way that I'm gonna bring in anything else, even if I have something that I haven't used yet. I didn't even want to tempt myself and reach into that drawer because I literally have 2 or 3 brow pencils, I've got some brow gels, all sorts of things. We need to stop it with the brows. So I did. I stopped it and just went through, I think I used the Urban Decay Brow Blade and then the Benefit 24/7 Brow Setter Gel. And they're a little bit darker than I wanted, but that's okay. That's all right. All right, let's finish up the face. So I'm a little worried about this. So I was hunting for a bronzer, and the only bronzer, I think I've tried all of my bronzers, but the only bronzer that I literally think I've only tried once is this water bronzer from Untitled Beauty. So this, I mean, it feels very cooling and nice on the skin, but first of all, it's only gonna be like a shade darker than what I am, but it's a little bit warm, and I'm kind of like, I don't remember loving it last time. I don't remember loving it. I remember kind of thinking like, this might be good for no makeup days, but I don't really remember a lot about it other than that. So we're gonna see here. And you might be asking me, well, Kelly, if you don't remember loving it, why do you still have it around? And that is a good question that I can't answer for you. I honestly was like, it was probably one of those things that I'm like, you know, I think I need to try this with another foundation and see what I think. And so that's what we're doing today. So far, it's not too bad. I'm just obviously like tapping it in and then just using my finger to blend. This is like, this is like a whisper of bronzer, but you know, for this time of year in the winter, that's okay. Like, I don't really need to scream like I just got back from vacation. I wish I just got back from vacation, but I didn't. So I'm just kind of looking to add a little bit. It's not a lot. If you are darker than me, by the way, I think they had different shades. This is Baked. I do think that they had some different shades, but this one, if you were any darker than me, don't even bother. And I don't even know how dark, because I remember on the website, I think I ordered this from Ulta, but I remember it was so hard to pick out a shade because that's what this looks like. It's sort of like an illusion, you know, because it's such a sheer product, but like when you have the whole thing, it just looks like it's going to be so dark. So if you're darker than me, you'll have to go in a darker shade if they had it. But this I'm not too mad at. I actually could see wearing this on days that I have very light makeup on and just want to add a whisk of color. Like this could almost be like a bronzer situation where it sort of like does both for me, or if I just want like a little bit of extra color if I'm not wearing any makeup. I don't think if you enjoy a full coverage makeup though, you're going to like this because it didn't pull up my foundation, I don't think, but I think if you have lots of layers on, this like watery formula is probably not going to work as well. That's just my thoughts. All right, I hauled these in my sometime Ulta haul or sometime beauty haul. I don't even know what it was. I hauled it in a haul. That's what you do in a haul. These are the NYX Cosmetics Bear With Me. They are jelly cheek colors and they have cannabis sativa seed oil. So I think these are going to be really nice and hydrating. I did get these in 2 shades, Sizzling Sun and Orange Zest. I think I'm going to go through with Sizzling Sun. It's sort of like this like terracotta shade, and I think that that's going to be nice for just like a little warm moment on the face. I do remember though thinking that these were pretty pigmented, so we're just gonna like, ooh, this is a pretty shade. Oh my gosh. Okay, we need to wipe a little bit of this off though. Yeah, I just took my brush, by the way, I'm using the BK 108, and I just took my brush through the little like dribbles that were in the top of the lid. Oh my gosh. The shade is very pretty. It's going to be a fun one to wear like in the summer because then you can like pack it on like really good. That's like a little much for me. So I'm just taking that foundation brush that I used and just like trying to like simmer it down just a little bit. Oh my gosh, I love a good like cream liquid gel blush. It just gives you that color without looking like makeup. Like, it does not look like I put blush on my face. It just looks like my skin is that color. I love that. All right, that is a keeper. I'm glad I got this in 2 shades. I do remember thinking, I remember now because the orange one looks more pink, which I'm glad I didn't use that one. I think this is gonna be a good vibe to like just get a little, you know, a little glow on, a little like I feel like I wish it was summer, but it's not kind of moment. So I'm excited to have these and I will definitely be using these more in the future. Good job, Kelly, 3 months ago. Okay, I'm gonna hold off on highlighter until after I finish my eye makeup, just because I'm gonna be using a really dewy highlighter, and if I get any fallout, I don't want that to get like stuck. But the shadow palette that we're gonna use today, I'm really excited for. This is the Hocus Pocus Gather Round Sisters from ColourPop. Yes, it's still in the box even. I have not pulled this one out. I got this in a recent sale. I think Ulta was doing like 10 times points. They had restocked this palette. I had FOMO over not getting this the first time and the second time, and finally I was like, okay, you really just need to get this. So this is what we're gonna be working with. I don't think I'm gonna go too crazy with this palette, but we'll do a little something something. I also have an eyeliner I wanna use, so we're gonna just kind of like play a little bit, dip our toes into this palette since I haven't even touched it yet. That had to be like a month and a half ago. I'm not gonna focus on the palette too much because you've all seen it a million times, but the reason that I wanted to do this video was because I just got done filming my highlight declutter, both my liquid and my cream video, and I was like, okay, wow. Some of these things in this drawer, because then once I decluttered and I reorganized, I wanted to like rearrange stuff in my drawer because I keep my cream blushes, cream bronzers, and cream highlights in one drawer together. And I wanted to kind of rearrange because I felt like I had more space, so I was just trying to get organized, and I was like, oh my gosh, some of these things I've never even used. So I definitely wanted to take some time, and I was like, you know what? That's going to be a good little series. So let me know if you want to see more of these, because chances are I will have more to share. if you want to see a things I haven't touched before video, let me know. But I also just thought that this was a good way to kind of like, you know, give a little update on my goals so far. I mean, it's not like I broke a rule. I didn't say I was going to get no foundations or concealers. I just said if I do, that I needed to get rid of one or use up one. So, I mean, I'm probably like kind of having a little loophole, but Salt New York is just a brand that I can't resist. I cannot resist. And that on top of the like winter sale that they were still having, it was just a good time. It was just a good time to do it. So I did it and I have no regrets yet. Other than that, I mean, I feel like I am doing good so far. I am starting my deck of panning project. So that is going to be fun for me. By the way, if you're not familiar with that, it's sort of like a panning project that also has like a rotating game board. I'll leave my video link down below if you do want to get the deets on that, but I have those set aside to start using on the 20th. It's not quite the 20th, so I'm excited for that. I also have my makeup basket set out, so I think I'm going to do a weekly, like kind of like a weekly pull, but also if there's things that I want to leave in, you know, if it's something that is just really calling my name, or maybe I don't feel like I used it enough, I'll go ahead and leave it in. But already in my highlight declutter, I pulled out a couple things to put in there because I was like, all right, these I either was excited to have and like, oh my God, I forgot about this. I need to pull this out. Or it was something that I was like, ooh, this baby's on the chopping block and the only way I can know if it's getting bumped off or kept in the collection is to use it, right? So I've started my makeup basket, so I'm really excited for that. I'm gonna use one of these darn like sequin shades or whatever, the mattes with the sparkles in it. I'm just gonna use that with my finger. This is the shade Coven. It's kind of like a mauvey brown, but I'm hoping that if I use it this way, some of that sparkle will stay. So you'll all have to let me know, like, how is 2022 going so far for you with your goals, whether it's, you know, makeup goals, other goals, if your goal is to just stay sane and to not put any goals upon yourself, whatever it is, how are things going? I think, like, it is so easy to, I don't know, like, start picking ourselves apart if things don't go right the first couple months of the year, you know, because we go into it like, all right, we got this. Granted, I feel like this year we're all like very, a little cautious saying we got this, you know, we're like, or maybe we don't, maybe we have no control over it. I'm just going to blend these out. The only thing I don't love about this palette is you don't really have an inner corner shade. There's literally nothing that's light enough to really use as an inner corner shade other than like this Full Moon, which is like just a white matte. So I guess that's gonna be what I use. Today I'm not too bothered by it, but I wouldn't normally just want to like pop this in. It does have like little reflex in it, so that helps a little bit, but Okay, now for liner. I have this Flower Beauty Liquid Kajal. This is the shade Jaded. It's the olive shade, and I have two of the other ones. I did talk about these in a Flower Beauty video that I did, but I don't think that I've used this shade, and it is so pretty. Let me just like get a nice little swatch here. Hopefully you'll be able to see this. So this is like a beautiful olive green with tiny little gold reflex in it. And this is a liquid that you're meant to either be able to keep like sharp or go through and blend it out. And that's gonna be what I do. I kind of want to use it on the lower lash line and smoke it out. Since we're having this like smoky, smudgy shadow moment, I think this will go really well. Fingers crossed. So I'm just taking this teeny tiny accent brush from Real Techniques, and I'm just gonna like buff this and smoke it out a little bit. Oh no, I had a droplet on my eyelash that hit below my line here. That's all right, we will clean it up in a minute. Dang, that would have made for the perfect little smoky moment if it weren't for that little like bloop right below it. Okay, well, I have to say, I love this eyeliner. Like, the color is very pretty. I love the shimmer. Obviously, because it's a liquid, it's a little bit finicky. I do need to touch up this one corner. So I went through and did my little like inner cat eye moment, and then I was like, oh, I need some eye drops. And I put eye drops in like an idiot. And of course, they were wet, and then like got my inner corner wet, and then I had to like wipe it out, start it again. It was a nightmare. Well, it wasn't a nightmare. It just took a little longer than what I thought it was going to. So really quickly, I am just going to go ahead and throw on some telescopic carbon black, curl my lashes, in the other order. I'll be right back. Here we have the finished eye look. I have to say, I know I only dipped into 3 shadows from this palette, but I'm very excited to hop into this one. This is my very first ColourPop purchase in a really long time, and it's funny that it's an older palette, but you know, I didn't even use any of the shimmers. Can you believe it? Me not touching a shimmer, but I have to say, like, this looks nice. It's an easy, like, quick smoky look. I really just wanted to also put on some makeup because I'm hoping to wrangle Jeremy into doing the second part of my commodity exploration kit, the scent kit that I've been doing. We had so much fun the night that I did the first half myself, and that night in bed I was like making him smell other things. I talked about this in my recent live, but I was having him smell it and I was like, you know what, this is so fun to do together. Like, why don't you just hop in and do the second half with me? So I think he's gonna do that tonight. So if we do that, I wanted to have some makeup on for all of you. So I think this is very appropriate for that. But I still need highlight and some lips. So we are gonna go through and do a little highlight moment. I'm going through with this Ciate Dewy stick. This is literally just like, it's kind of some juicy glow. And I think that I could use a little bit of that. I'm just gonna like dab a little on. So this is one of those products that in my highlight declutter, I was like, I don't know, do I need this? I guess the only way to know if I even like it is to like use it. If I had used this, it was maybe once, and I really don't think that I had. So just popping a little on for some glow. Well, I can say that obviously, as I had suspected, this is pulling up some of the makeup that I had there, which is, I mean, it's so balmy. I probably should have just like tapped it. Ooh, it's almost, wow, it like heats up with your like body temperature and like becomes almost like oily. It does have the faintest little bit of like, not white, but like a little glisten. I'm sure you can see it there. It's not white. It's not so light that like I think any skin tone could wear this, but I don't know, we're gonna have to see. I feel like it pulled away some of my foundation. I'm not sure about this one. It's like it's like really oily, but we will see later tonight how it lasts. All right, Jeremy just got home, speak of the devil. So now my last product is this Maybelline Lifter Lip Gloss. I've heard so much about these. I know that my friend Rupi really likes these. What shade did I get? I got the shade Moon, which I think is kind of like a dupe for Fenty Fussy. So, which of course, if you know me, you know that I love, love, love. Not only do I love the gloss bombs, but I love Fussy. So I thought I would give this one a go. Okay, now these have a very different smell. They feel a little more buttery on the lips and yeah, like smoother. Like I feel like this is gonna come off a little sooner. I'm not gonna lie, but the scent is like chocolate cake and frosting. Oh, these smell really good. I could probably use a little lip liner with this, but I don't really care. I'm just hanging out at home tonight, so altogether, I think this is a really good look. I'm gonna spray my face really quick just to like set everything down. I'm just using the Maracuja Miracle Mist. We'll see what we think. That Miracle Mist really just gives like whatever you're wearing a nice little glow, but not in a overly oily way, just like a really hydrated way. I love this. It's still one of my favorites. I don't really have a spray that I've forgotten about. I really need to just use up some of the sprays that I have sitting out here. It's ridiculous. So that's what we're going through and using. So I will be curious to see how this foundation is later. Let me, oh, this Gather Round Sisters palette doesn't have a mirror in it. All right, let me pull out a better mirror. Yeah, okay, so the foundation doesn't look bad, but it did really gather in my little creases. It's just like kind of cakey in this situation, cakey for me. So we'll see. This like dewy stick, honestly, I don't think I'll end up keeping it just because it did lift up my makeup, and I don't find that happens with the Danessa Myricks Dew Wet Balm. That was the one that I was kind of comparing it to in that video because they're both like sheer, sheeny. That one does have like a little bit of that like shimmer to it, but it's just like, I don't know. We will see. We will see. I will go ahead and update you guys in a pinned comment down below. So if you do want to know how I felt about all this makeup after a few hours, you can check that out. And fingers crossed that in a few hours, I'll be filming a video with Jeremy if he's game. All right, so that is it for today. Again, I just really wanted to sit down and play with a few of these things that I hadn't touched yet or couldn't remember if I had, and just give you guys a little mini update. So I hope you're all doing well. Thank you so much for watching. It really does mean so much that you take some time out of your day to spend it with me. If you did enjoy this, don't forget to give it a like, and I will see you really soon. Oh, and as I'm wrapping up here, the one thing that I did want to say is another thing that I found as I've been going through and doing this declutter is like I almost already have a notion that I need to like kind of go through and skim my previous things that I decluttered because it's been kind of crazy. So there are just some things that I maybe kept that I'm like, why did you even keep that? So I do think I'm going to be doing a video very soon of like a who was I kidding kind of like these things need to go too. Not like category by category, but just like a little basket of things that I'm like, yeah, no. So that one will be coming too. Am I the only one? Like, am I the only one that struggles? You are like, okay, yeah, no, I'm going to use this. I'm totally going to use this. And then like 2 months later, you're like, you're not. You're really not going to use this. Just finally get rid of it. So that's the point that I'm at. I'm really enjoying having some space in my drawers. And you know, this year I do plan. I'm not doing a no buy. I don't even want to call it a low buy, but I do want to feel like, oh, I can pick up a few things that really catch my eye and have some space for them. So it's time. It's time to let some things go that I just haven't touched, haven't wanted to touch, don't plan on doing anytime soon. So this is why I was doing this video. Maybe I'll do this a little bit more in the future where it's like, oh, I haven't touched this one, or I haven't touched this one in a long time. Let me know, is this helpful to you? Would you like this to be a series? For sure, that little update, my like, my basket of realizations, right? Like that one will be coming soon. Anyway, I'm getting rambly. I just wanted to give you guys a heads up on what's coming soon. All right, that's it.